And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at a small game called Alien Wars. This is from Yellow. It comes in a big plastic package, but essentially the game is just this. It's a round alien can. Now I want to take a closer look at the can here. It's a tin, but I actually really like how this works. I'm not usually a big fan of tins, but this one is pretty sturdy, and it snaps together like this, and then you can pop it open. This looks kind of cool. And so we have this can here which holds a pile of round cards. Now Alien Wars is that. You're going to be placing cards on the table and they'll be shooting at each other. But there's a bit of memory, there's a bit of dexterity as you throw cards at other cards. Let me show you. Now I'm going to show you a bit of a condensed field here, just so you can be on the camera. But you're going to start with these 3 mines, and these 3 mines are placed in a triangular fashion about 10 inches apart, which is actually pretty close to what this is. They're placed face down. Each player has a deck of cards that they're going to have, which also, so that they'll have like maybe these aliens, and when you say go, everyone's going to start placing cards face down. Now these cards have to be half an inch away from another card. So, you can place them where you want, but you can't place them so that they overlap. And so each of the different teams is going to be placing their cards all around the board. Alright, now the first person to finish placing their cards is going to get to go first. So placing your cards and finishing first is the best way to go. Now before we finish placing all the cards, I do want to show you there's different types of aliens in the deck. Each of the aliens has kind of a different flavor to it, but they're all essentially the same deck. Here we have pigs in space, not in an office. So you have different types of aliens. So when it's your turn, you're going to turn a card over, any card you want. It's like memory match. Now if it's one of your cards, you use it. If it's someone else's card, they're going to get to use it. Each card, most of the cards are going to let you shoot once or twice. This one lets you shoot twice. Now the way you shoot is each player has their own disc, their own shooting disc. So when you shoot, you take a pinky, put it on the card that's shooting, and then toss the disc. And the things that the disc lands on are hit and removed. And I just shot one of my own ships, and if you hit mines, those aren't removed, and instead the ship shooting at them is removed. And that's basically it. When you're done, if your ship has not shot a mine, you'll turn it back over, and players will keep turning cards over and shooting at each other and try not to shoot at mines. Some cards like this one here you can shoot, or you can look at 2 face down cards. Some of the cards, when you do it, you can bring back one of your dead ships and replace it with this one. And that's basically it. You're just trying to eliminate the other players. The first person to do so is the winner of the game. Alien Wars is not going to appeal to everyone. It really is just, it's going to be one of those games that some people are going to like and others are not going to be as big of fans of. It's, like I said, there's a bit of memory. You got to remember where your cards are. And then there's dexterity. Now, throwing cards is one thing. Try to throw a card with your pinky on the table is much more difficult. You really can't throw them far. You don't have to. But the game really becomes a chaotic, just nonsense thing, because it doesn't matter if I know where my cards are and I know where your cards are. I found that I'm just hitting ships everywhere. So it's more of a silly, fun family game. There's not a whole lot involved here because, yes, memorizing where your stuff is useful, but at the same time, throwing stuff is the real point of the game. I guess remembering where your ship is also important. But in the end, I think it doesn't matter. Every game that I've played of this, one person has won and everyone's glad and it was fun, but I don't think that person was better than everyone else. And I think that will appeal to some people. Some people will like to throw cards all down and then turn them over and throw discs across. That's a very specific group, I think, but I think there's a lot of them. And it's going to especially appeal to kids and to teenagers. They'll like this. I know this. I've tried it. And it comes in a cool little inexpensive package that's easy there. It's not totally unique. There are other games where you throw cards on the table. There are other games where you do memory match. I have not yet seen that combination together. And while I don't know that gamers are going to be the target audience for that, I don't think they are anyway, I think that as a family, this is something that you'll get a lot of laughs out. Alien Wars. Dice Tower Judgment, up.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!